for Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's a 3-point win for the San Francisco 49ers. They are now 8-0. The Cardinals are 3-5-1. Career high 4 touchdown passes for Jimmy, and he's standing by with Aaron Andrews.
And Jimmy just said to me, it helps when you have good receivers, but come on now, you had a huge night. Kyle Shanahan telling us this week, each week you're getting better and better. What was clicking tonight for you?
You know, I think like you said, the receivers, I mean, those guys just, their body language, how they are at the top of routes, they beat guys, and I mean, it makes it easy for me. So when you got skill position guys like that are just winning on routes, it's awesome.
And a couple of huge third downs for you, and one of those guys helping you out, Emmanuel Sanders, who you told us this week came along quicker than you thought. What about tonight?
Yeah, he he picks it up quick. He's a vet and he's a pro, so he just I don't know, it's awesome having a guy like that. And then you got credit the guys up front to give us time to be able to throw those types of routes. So it's a big team effort.
8-0. How does that feel?
Feels great, baby.
Happy Halloween right back at you. Thanks so much.
Definitely, no problem.
It is Halloween. Oh, all right. Alfred Morris makes his first tackle of the game. Everybody's smiling, including John Lynch, the GM. His 49ers 8-0. Back after this. Jimmy Garoppolo throwing some game-worn souvenirs to the 49er fans in attendance, and there were a lot of them here in Glendale, Arizona tonight. It's week 9 around the NFL, and some good matchups coming your way. The Vikings and Chiefs this weekend on Fox. The Bears and Eagles, Redskins and Bills late, Lions and Raiders, the Bucks and the Seahawks. And we'll welcome you back inside our broadcast booth. And Troy, you and I were talking before the game a lot about this San Francisco defense, and it's very good. They gave up their season high in points in this ball game, but now with what Jimmy Garoppolo's doing, they get Emmanuel Sanders in the fold. There's more for their opponents to think about now going forward. This is a really good 8-0 team.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, there's no doubt. And we talked about the injuries and those guys coming back. They're only going to get better up front when they get their tackles back. And they've got some young players that they're, Deebo Samuel, he made some plays tonight. He's going to continue to improve. Emmanuel Sanders and what he means to this offense. And yeah, they're good. They can beat you a lot of different ways. The defense wasn't as good as we've seen from them in previous weeks. The offense, they were able to carry the load and do their part, and that's what winning teams do. And it was a great win for them.
On the other side, we watched the #1 overall pick, Kyler Murray. I see why they're so excited, because when they get their offensive line right, and they're going to have to do some drafting, they're going to have to add to that offensive line. But when they protect him and he can move around back there and fling it around like he does, they're going to be fun to watch.
They really are, and I thought he played well tonight, and he had some opportunities. The throw that he made there on the 88-yarder to Andy Isabella was a heck of a throw, and he clearly has shown that he's capable of playing at a high level in this league. And we're quick to draw conclusions on all these young quarterbacks so fast, and I say everybody just kind of slow down, but yet he's the real deal. He's a real threat, as we know. This team is going through a transition. They're going to continue to kind of piece things together as Kingsbury wants, and they'll be fine, but it's going to take some time.
Well, we will give you a look at that locker room, the victorious locker room for the San Francisco 49ers. They have yet to really go through any speeches or anything, but they're giving hugs. They're giving hugs like
hugs are okay. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween. A Halloween hug from Jimmy Garoppolo and those guys of that offense. So as you look at their most immediate opponents, it's going to be a fun game coming up with them and the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to learn a lot next week.
Yes, we are. And the fact that they haven't even yet played. So if you're Seattle, you're looking at it and you're saying, gosh, we're 2 games back. They've got to take care of business this week. But heck, right there in the middle of it with the chance to kind of control their own destiny with 2 games yet to play them.
You're Troy Aikman.
I sure am.
You're not John Smoltz.
No, yeah. All right, go get some rest.
I know. It's time to go. The 49ers 8-0. You guys both have great arms. Coming up next on Fox, late local news except on the West Coast. On NFL Network, the Mercedes-Benz postgame show. 28-25 the final. 49ers are 8-0. Good night from Arizona.
Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz postgame show.
The Cardinals gave the Niners a scare late on Halloween, but the Niners held on for the win, and there is Jimmy G. A career-high 4 touchdowns tonight for him. The 3-point win for the Niners, 28-25, so they can go to 8-0 for the first time since 1990. These fans are fired up here in Arizona. A huge Niners crowd here. They've been chanting 8-0 since we sat down at this very desk. I'm Colleen Wolfe with Steve Smith Sr. and Joe Thomas, and this was quite a game for Jimmy G tonight. I don't think he was a game manager out there tonight. We saw him with some big time throws, but let's get into that final drive for the Niners where they didn't have George Kittle on the field, and they were able to come up with 3 big third down conversions here. The play to Emmanuel Sanders, the completion right here on 3rd and 11.
Just sitting down in the zone, understanding what's going on. And then you got right here, Tavon Coleman going around, getting the first down, keeping himself in bounds, establishing we will shut this game down by running the ball. Kiss, keep it simple, stupid, and that's what they did.
That's exactly right, and it was a little dicey. They were wondering if he stayed in bounds, but he did. And then this third one to Ross Dwelley on 3rd and 9. Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, I love Jimmy G's decision-making. To me, he took a big step in his career tonight because of the great decisions he was making consistently. We saw it on that last drive. We saw his decision of, I'm going to run for it. Oh, at the last minute, I can throw it, without having to take a hit, getting the first down with my tight end.
And I have some great news for everybody because George Kittle is on his way to set right now. So we have a ton of questions for him. Stick around, everybody. Don't go anywhere. He joins us live coming up next. And add this to your weekend plans as well. We got Texans and Jags live from London exclusively on NFL Network. Set your alarm because our show is off and running at 7 a.m. Eastern with kickoff from Wembley at 9:30.
You are watching the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
It's either the assurance of a 165-point certification process, or it isn't. It's either testing an array of advanced safety systems, or it isn't. It's either the peace of mind of a standard unlimited mileage warranty, or it isn't. For those who never settle, it's either Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned, or it isn't. The Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned sales event, now through October 31st, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
And here's a look at the Mercedes star of the game, and it is George Kittle right there, 6 for 79 tonight, and that touchdown right there, just stiff-arming Buda Baker.
We only showed it once.
No, I mean, and we watched it many times. We watched every replay. Woo! Very impressive. So we have George Kittle joining us now, and this crowd is going insane.
I'm going to have a hard time hearing you, Colin. They're pretty fired up. This is the most fired up crowd I think we've seen post-game, and this isn't the team that lives here.
It's exactly. We are in Phoenix, Arizona, and this crowd has been very heavy Niners all night.
I feel like
I know, right?
I feel like we're in the 49ers stadium.
We are. Yeah.
George,
We just won.
you guys 8-0 right now.
That's pretty cool.
What do you have to say to this crowd out here, your fans?
Let's go!
They're throwing hats. It's like a graduation ceremony here.
Did I score 3?
This is awesome.
It's a hat trick.
Yeah, so tonight, this was a game where it just felt like you guys, the passing game especially, Jimmy G was just like locked in.
Yeah, he's pretty good, right?
On a different level. What was different about tonight?
Nothing. We're doing the same thing we always do. We couldn't rely on the run the entire game. Jimmy made a bunch of big plays. We had a lot of young receivers step up, and I mean, hey, how about my guy Ross Dwelley making that third down to win the game?
How about it?
Hey, that's my guy. So just the fact that we had guys step up when they needed to step up, make those take advantage of those opportunities, it was incredible football.
Man, walk us through this replay of you blessing the Buda Baker. Not once, but 2 times. He gave him the love on the left shoulder, and he gave him love on the right shoulder.
Yep. Oh, wow.
What are you smelling right now?
It's a big second helping.
So, what kind of entree did you give him? Calamari?
Entree? That was some nice pasta with some chicken over the top. Came back for dessert. It was a big dessert, though. Big old tiramisu.
Hopefully it was pumpkin pie, you know, being Halloween and everything.
Oh, right. I could take a pumpkin pie. I like that.
George, we saw you hurt your knee a little bit in the first half, get it bent back. We were really concerned that you weren't going to be able to tough it out, come back in that game, but you did, and you played amazing, had a great game. What allowed you to be able to come back out there and be there for your teammates, be there for Jimmy G after banging up your knee?
It's football. That's what happens.
I wouldn't have done that. I was not nearly that tough. If I would have bent my knee like that, I would have been on the sideline.
He played for Cleveland, too, so just by
I thought you didn't miss, 10,000 snaps in a row?
I never bent my knee back like that.
Oh, it's football. Stuff happens, and you just got to push through it, man. There's only 53 guys out there playing 47, and you got to make the plays.
It seemed like Jimmy G, from an outsider standpoint, took a big step tonight. He made a number of big throws, especially down the stretch, under duress a few times. Didn't have as much of the run game as you usually have. Did you see that same thing where you feel like this could be a big step in his career?
I mean, for me, Jimmy does this stuff every day in practice, and just seeing him make those plays, I mean, I expect those. I know not everyone else, expects him to make those, but I expect that from him, so it's nothing new to me. But I love the fact that he's doing that because he's an incredible quarterback. He's the best leader I've ever been around, and to have him be able to have that type of game on Thursday Night Football when, not everything's going the way it's supposed to, he definitely took a step forward.
With the acquisition of Emmanuel Sanders,
he's pretty good too.
Yeah. What has he brought to the wide receiver group that you guys are missing?
I think what the coolest thing is he's a guy he's done it before. He's won on the biggest stage. He's a vet. He knows how to do it. You don't have to coach him in anything. He knows how to, hold himself accountable. He knows how to go through the playbook, knows how to study. And I think when you have a guy like that, you bring him into a young wide receiver room. You got Dante Pettis, Debo, you got Kendrick Bourne, Richie James. When you got a young room and you can bring in a guy like that, he brings them along instantly. And you can notice at the first day of practice, they're like, hey, our mindset has to change. We got to step up more, and they have.
George, you just ran through all of these names, all of this talent that you guys have on the field. Your defense has been balling as well. You guys are obviously 8-0 right now. So what do you have to say to all the naysayers out there right now? Because I know you came out here, you were fired up. You fired up the crowd. So what do you have to say to the haters?
After the game, I give you a lot of credit for that.
It's amazing.
All right, you look at these guys. Let's go, baby! They're incredible. I mean, we're just having fun. And we're just going to keep attacking one game at a time. We had 24 hours to celebrate this one. We're looking at Seattle for Monday Night Football. I can't wait for that one either. That's going to be a great game. I can't wait to go against those guys. It's going to be fun. And we're just going to keep taking it one game at a time and see what happens from there.
Not to mention that you get some guys back, too. So you've been doing this out here with a ton of injuries. You get both of your tackles back as well. So how important is that for you guys? And how nice is that you can go, you have an extra time off now. You guys just won this big divisional game under the bright lights on Thursday Night Football. And now just knowing that you're going to play the Seattle Seahawks with a bunch of your guys coming back to full health.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, when you get a legend like Joe Staley back, he's incredible. Mike McGlinchey on the right tackle. Juszczyk is incredible too at fullback. But you can't really say enough about the guys that did step up, whether it's School, whether it's Brunskill, whether it's Dwelly. Those 3 guys stepped up, and without those 3 guys, we're not 8-0. We lose probably 3 or 4 of those games without those guys. Yes!
We lose. You can't hold back the excitement.
I can't. They're incredible.
Yeah, you guys are 8-0. Is it fair to say that you guys are the team to beat, or is the NFC up, or is it up for grabs?
All I know is that every single Sunday, everyone that plays us is going to get our best shot, no matter what it is. We lost for 2 years straight. We won 10 games in 2 years. We know what it's like to be the underdog, and we know what it's like to give people our best shot and not win. So we're not going to mess up this opportunity. So every team that we play will get our best shot, and they're not going to want it.
They're not going to want it.
No.
So you guys are the team to beat in the NFC.
Gonna get our best shot every single week, baby.
Ooh, I like it. That was a
guarantee, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
I did. I said it for you.
Yeah. Well, you're good at that. I'll let you take care of that.
All right, appreciate it.
Kyle Shanahan, his offense, it's one of the hot topics in the NFL right now, being that you guys are 8-0. How does that run game help set up the play action for you specifically to get you open, to allow you to have the type of seasons that you've had here with Kyle Shanahan?
I mean, I love the play action pass because that allows me to wiggle out. You know, guys don't see me, their eyes are in the backfield. And when our run game is what it is, and I think we're averaging like 100+ yards, like we're doing pretty well in the run game. So,
not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Well, when those play actions come, you know, I just got to take advantage of those things. Jimmy gives me a good ball, and, you know, guys don't really see me, so it lets me run for 20, 25 yards every single time. And, you know, our play action's doing great. And there's one that we didn't get called I was pretty sad about, but, you know, we'll come back to it next week.
Save it for next week.
Yeah,
don't tell us. Don't spoil it here.
I won't.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's all right.
This team has so many guys that, as you mentioned, just step up. I mean, when you look at the amount of receiving touchdowns to different guys on this team, it's incredible. And then you have Ross Dwelley stepping up with that big third down catch.
Oh, yeah.
How amazing is it for you to watch your teammates just be able to grind it out in the clutch, too?
I mean, one of my favorite things about football is, like, it just puts guys in situations, and what Kyle Shanahan does, he puts guys in situation to succeed. And when those guys get out there and they take advantage of those opportunities, like, yeah, hey, Debo had a bad drop in the end zone, but he came back and he had 2 incredible plays for us, get those third downs. And that's just growing, and that's becoming a better player. Ross Dwelley, hey, he was a tight end playing fullback, moving him to fullback to replace Juszczyk, who's a Pro Bowl fullback, and he's done a fantastic job. And then he gets a third down conversion. I can't go out there and play. So when you can rely on those guys, it's just incredible.
We've seen what you can do in the pass game. We see how well you block. We get to see the best version of Kittle. What's one thing you think you need to work on this year to help you take yourself over the top?
I could have scored down there on that one I got tackled at the inch-yard line. I got to be better at that.
Maybe, like, show more personality, too?
Because you're pretty dry.
Energy. I am pretty dry. Yeah. You're right. I am dry.
So
I'll get some, you know, liquid courage later.
Awesome. Last year at TNF, when we were in San Francisco, we had Nick Mullins on the set.
Incredible.
And you were cheering. You were seen cheering with a bunch of fans behind the set. And then...
Yeah, where's he at?
I know, right? Like, get him out here. He's got to do the same for you. There it is there. So you were there cheering on your man post-game. And then we saw a couple weeks ago in D.C., you were photobombing Jimmy G, just like hanging out in the background. This is a pattern of behavior that we are now following. Alarming. It's on our radar. What do your teammates say about this, and who's the next person that you're ready to mess with that you haven't yet?
I can't tell you. I just sneak up on people when they're least expecting.
You don't have like a list somewhere?
I might. I can't tell you guys all my, you know, I got a plan for all this. It's all good.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so that's
I'm
a
locked
good tease.
in. Lock in, focus up, and just laser focus, baby.
I like it. There's a strategy here behind the madness. George Kittle, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And congratulations on the win. Go enjoy it. 8-0. You guys
I'm going to go enjoy it. It's going to be
so
fun.
great. And you know what? Say goodbye to the fans before we let you go.
We got a little music for you. Throw in,
we also have a gift for you as well. Do you know Big Crit? And do you have a cassette player? Awesome. Here you go. Every TNF, we spotlight a guy. So that is our guy this week, and that is for you. Big Crit.
You can play that at the Halloween party.
Player of the game.
Players Halloween party. I'll be
George Kittle. This is awesome. They love you. George Kittle. They love this guy out here, and why wouldn't they? Oh my goodness, what a game for him, and also just firing up these fans. He brings so much energy. This has been an awesome night here in Arizona, and it's going to be a party at NFL Network on Sunday morning, too. The Texans and the Jags, they are in London exclusively on the network. Game day kickoff starts at 7 a.m. Eastern with the action from Wembley underway at 9:30 a.m. Rich and the guys in the booth for the second time this season.
It's the return of 4 men in a booth from London.
Where's your shoes? Where are your shoes? The first pass
of the game is intercepted. Did you do that, Mike?
No, didn't do that.
Christian McCaffrey undresses a handful of Buccaneers. It's a 60-yard field goal with no rush. You think the Brits are confused?
Steve, Americans are confused. Curtis Samuel going to fight for the football. And that's how you help your young quarterback. You cannot win turning the ball over 7 times.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Well, tonight here in Arizona, it was all about Jimmy G. 4 touchdowns tonight, a career high for him. Coming into the game, he only had 4 touchdowns over these few weeks. And we talked about it earlier in the pregame show. Can he carry this offense if a defense adjusts and is able to take away the run game? So, what are your thoughts now after seeing this performance tonight? Has anything changed?
His back should hurt because he carried this team. He did a great job. He fed Emmanuel Sanders, who had just got here a week and a half ago.
Yeah, had over 100 receiving yards.
Over 100 receiving yards. So it was magnificent. And all the question marks you have about this team as far as the quarterback position, he proved us wrong. Yep. But, it didn't prove us wrong. They still 8-0.
They sure are.
We came into this game saying, what is Jimmy G going to look like if they take away the run game?
No, you did.
I said I had some questions. I'm a show-me guy.
Okay.
We hadn't seen it ever before from Jimmy G where the team needed him to make big moment throws over and over again when they didn't have the run game like they usually do. And tonight, he proved to everybody out there that he's deserving of that big contract, of that franchise quarterback status, and that maybe if teams take away that running game, he can beat you down the stretch, and that means a lot for a big-time playoff run for these guys.
Yeah, they normally average 181 rushing yards a game, just a little over 100 rushing yards in this game. So they really showed their versatility, how dynamic this offense can really be, especially with all of these playmakers out there, and Emmanuel Sanders, the new addition. But listen, it's Halloween, everybody. And I don't know if you've seen this yet, but this is really, really incredible. We've seen amazing costumes out here in Phoenix and on Twitter as well. DeAndre Hopkins, in case you missed this, leaning all the way in to be Aladdin. And then Tom Brady making fun of Peyton Manning, which I'm here for. I'm here for that.
That might have been a little too close to home.
Wow.
A little pointed there.
Nah, it's funny.
You like it? Okay. How about this one? Did you like this? We smashed some pumpkins earlier today.
Flash was weak, too.
I'm taking out the Bears.
Oh, my goodness. A man from Iowa? That was the first time.
That's what happens when you mess with Waldo.
Wait a second. Watch out. Oh, no. So this was Joe's
Dr. Evil
reaction to what just happened there.
I mean,
Steve?
I was saying that's a shame.
Flash was embarrassed for him.
I know. Look at Colleen. Colleen said, you're weak.
I love it.
I mean, also I was in a giant sheep costume, so
dressed up as a
wolf in sheep's clothing.
Got it.
Real knee slapper, everybody. All right.
For a guy that grew up in Iowa, I look like that was the first time he ever swung an axe or a sledgehammer. I was pretty embarrassed for Kurt. I don't know what he was doing.
He's not even here to defend himself.
He's not even here.
The best part.
You're cruel.
He will be in London with the rest of the crew for the Sunday game between the Texans and the Jags. And coming up next is NFL Total Access with much more on tonight's game here in Arizona, including post-game reaction from both teams. Plus, Russell Wilson stops by to talk about how his red-hot start and the Seahawks can keep pace in the NFC West. Good night, everybody. We will see you next week in Oakland.
Buda Baker getting the weight room.
Thank you for watching the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
It's not pretty good or nothing. It's not acceptable or nothing. And it's definitely not close enough or nothing. Mercedes-Benz SUVs were engineered with only one mission in mind: to be the best. In the category, in the industry, in the world. Lease the GLA 250 SUV for just $329 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.